Hi, I'm excited to be with you today. We've got a wonderful show about retirement and planning for your financial success. We've got today's entrepreneur guest, Mr. Cedric Robinson, who is the owner of Smart Investment Advisors here in Southfield, Michigan.
Right.
Welcome to the program.
Thank you, Natalie.
You have a phenomenal business here. You've got a lot of great programs and information that you offer. I think today's economy is in such a way that a person has to really stop and pay attention to where they're at. You know, literally find their location so they can know a better destination.
Right.
First, before we get into the meat and potatoes about the financial workshop, tell me about your business model. What exactly do you do here at Financial Advisors?
Well, Natalie, to explain that to you, first I need to just tell you how we arrived here. We started out like 35 years ago, and we were just doing insurance, and we did some tax sheltered annuities for the school teachers. We did some government employee programs, and then we recruited some agents. But what has happened, the industry has advanced so until you almost have to be a master in order to direct people the correct way. So we created Smart Investment Advisor. And what basically that is, the name indicated that in order to move to take clients, and this is what our mission is, to take clients from a young person all the way through retirement, you got to have some smart strategies.
Yes.
And so we are here, and I'm happy to tell you that you're among the first to be told about some of the financial arsenals that we have created.
Okay.
And so today I'd like to maybe just tell you a little bit about those.
Okay.
But before we get there, we are inviting people, young people to older people, to come in and just view the programs that we have, because in order for them to make a decision, then they almost will need the arsenal of financial tools that we have put together. So,
well, I think it's important for anyone who wants to make sure they have a solid financial future to get information. You know, to make sure they've got the right information. And as I stated before, the economy is very volatile. So you want to make sure that with your retirement, your IRAs, with your insurance, with your health insurance, with your life insurance, with real basic things, you want to make sure that all that's taken care of so that, you know, when you get 65 years old, you got a solid income that will last you throughout your 90s. You know, we were talking earlier about how people are living longer. And, you know, with healthcare now and people are staying healthy, they want to make sure they're, you know, I mean, literally the average age right now is not just, you know, baby boomers are turning 65 and they'll last another 40 years. That's amazing.
right.
Where 20 years ago, that was not happening. So you have to have money to last through your 80s and 90s. So let's talk about that a little bit. You gave me 10 points, and we may not be able to cover all of them, but let's talk about the foundational ones. The first one being, you talked about Social Security.
Well, let's, before we get into that, let's just, let me just tell you that you may have seen the movie called The Perfect Storm. Well, from a financial point of view, there's a perfect storm that's brewing right now. And that storm is brewing because of the fact that Social Security, people are living a long time and they don't really know what's going to happen with Social Security. And now they're being taxed on Social Security as they are. And then as they are putting monies in, there's a Social Security tax that they pay. Then to take it out, they have to pay taxes on it. So one of the things, our job is to try to minimize that. The other area is long-term care. People are living longer. There's a 50% chance that a married couple, now 65, one of them will live to 92 years old. And there's a 25% chance that 92-year-old, one of them will last to 97. So people are living a long time, and that brings up another point, and that is the income that they would would need. People are running out of money. Their income that they have set up and the strategies that they set up years ago does not work now because they thought they were going to die at 80.
Right.
Now they live
That's
into
right.
90.
Right.
So they're running out of money. The other problem that's coming in is the return in the stock market. You know, in the last 10 years, they call it the lost decade because people that were investing money in the stock market, the average return was only 1.83 over 10 years. They literally lost money. Well, what is happening now is that they have created programs that will last a long time through some of the annuities.
Right.
And this is one of the things that we have specialized in because now through the annuities we can guarantee using only 60% of the money compared to 100% in the stock market, we can now guarantee that a person will have an income for the rest of their life. And in some instances, that income will grow as the economy grows.
Okay.
One of the other problems that we have right now is that how do we mitigate the cost of long-term care? How do we create a balance between the Medicaid is going to pay, or if we're on Medicare, and if we have to pay for it. So what do we do there? Well, so we have some strategies now called Medicaid planning, and I'm happy to tell you that through the Wealth Preservation Institute, that's the only school in America that teaches financial advisors about Medicaid planning. So I'm happy to tell you that that's one of the arsenals that we have.
Now let's talk about that for a second. Now, when it comes to long-term care, obviously, if you're living longer, when you're living longer, you're going to have to, with hospitalization now, you can go and have almost any procedure now, and you're going to go to the doctor, you're in the hospital for 2 or 3 days, and then after that, they're going to send you home. And if you can imagine being 85 years old, whatever the procedure is, and you're now home, you need long-term care. So you need someone to come in, care for you either in your home or at a facility. So that's why in financial planning, it actually says, make sure that that's part of your arsenal to make sure that you've got that in the plan. And it's not that expensive.
Well, it is very expensive if you do it the conventional way because and then the problem with long-term care.
But you've got some ways to do it that are not so conventional, which I don't want to get into the deep details right now. They've got to call the number on the screen so that you can get information about how to plan your financial future. You talked about the annuities. You talked about the long-term care. Right after this break, we're going to deal with a few more of the great points about making sure that you're fortified for a successful financial future.